Returning now to our top story, Democrats on the House Oversight Committee have released 19 new photos obtained from the estate of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The lawmakers say the images are just a few from the more than 95,000 the estate has provided to the committee. The pictures released include prominent figures like President Trump and former President Bill Clinton. Here's a reaction to the release from Kentucky Representative Thomas Massie on the Hill just a short while ago.
Generally, the DOJ is on the clock. They have less, or just about a week to comply with your law and release the files. Do you have faith that the Department of Justice will do that, comply with the law?
I've been encouraged. They went back to the three judges and asked them to release grand jury material in light of the Epstein Files Transparency Act, and all three judges have reversed their prior stance, but for a good reason. They cite the Epstein Files Transparency Act. So you've got three grand juries that are going to release all their materials, redacted with the victims' names, to the DOJ. So it's a good sign that the DOJ went back and asked for that grand jury material.
If DOJ doesn't release the files it has by next Friday, is there anything Congress can do to compel that to happen?
Well, I mean, it's a crime if they don't. It's not like they're in contempt of Congress because they didn't respond to a subpoena. This is a new law with, criminal implications if they don't follow it. But I was encouraged, again, by the fact that they went back to these three judges and got the judges to release the grand jury material to the DOJ.
Is that grand jury material enough, do you think,
No.
to comply with the law?
No, the grand jury material is just a small fraction of what the DOJ needs to release, because the FBI and DOJ probably has evidence that they chose not to take to the grand jury, because the evidence they're in possession of would implicate other people, not Epstein or Maxwell. So the grand jury material is probably going to just be mostly facts and evidence that was used to convict those two. And what we want to see are the facts and evidence that the FBI and the DOJ have never given to a grand jury.
All right, let's bring in CBS News congressional reporter Taurean Small, who's live on Capitol Hill for us today. Taurean, what are you hearing from lawmakers about the release of these photos?
Yeah, so expectedly, we saw House Republicans get in front of this, saying that Democrats essentially cherry-picked among the just south of 100,000 photos they received from the Jeffrey estate to, in their words, put out this political spin on the evidence that they received. Democrats, however, are saying this is a part of their intent to be as transparent as possible as it relates to the oversight investigation into the now deceased convicted sex offender and any person in his orbit. We also heard from Dem leadership in Robert Garcia, the top Democrat on that committee. He said that the onus is now on the DOJ to comply with the law that the House and Senate put forth and the president signed into law to release all relevant information, evidence, as Representative Thomas Massie laid out there. We also heard from Leader Jeffries. He says that there's not too much in his mind that the Trump administration can do to hide behind this. It's clear that the president has acknowledged that he had a previous relationship with him, and according to Leader Jeffries, he thinks that this will, the longer that the Trump administration holds off on releasing full information, any evidence that they have, the worse it looks for him, especially as they head into the 2026 midterms.
Okay, Taurean Small on Capitol Hill for us today. Thank you.